What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing here? The Dunces family. We are back here with another video, with another podcast here tonight. We got Jeremy, straight from Ecuador. We got
Hello, okay.
Isandro. How you doing, Isandro? And we got Jordan. How you guys doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We out here,
Yeah.
You know how it
Yeah.
is.
We know it's been a while since our Dunces family has seen a video or heard us, in the podcast form. But, we're back now. We're going to start making our content weekly. A lot of things going on around the NBA, around sports in general. We just saw last week Tampa beating the Kansas City Chiefs. That was a good solid game. It was whatever. The weekend sucked, by the way. That was trash. That
It
that was
was
terrible.
though, but
That
you have your opinion. It's a wrong
Okay,
opinion, but it is an
okay,
opinion.
okay.
well,
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it could have been better. But
Could have been better.
despite the COVID protocols, he did good. Despite the COVID protocols, he
I
did good.
right, yeah.
expected more,
If
to be honest. I mean, at least Blinding Lights was good. At least he finished it off kind of well.
No,
But
what you talking about? House of Balloons though, in the background.
all 20 seconds of House of Balloons, really?
I appreciate
we'll get
that.
into that in another podcast
Okay.
when we talk about everything that is non-sports. But as we also know, a lot of things going around in soccer. Mbappe, you know, my boy, three
PSG,
Three
goals. That was
goals. Is
PSG.
PSG
crazy.
good or is Barcelona just
That's
trash? Are they just
no.
Barcelona's
garbage?
Barcelona's
just
just trash.
trash.
They're just trash. They're
They're
just trash.
trash.
That's why Mbappe is
Trash.
signing to Madrid.
That's why
That's where we're
Messi's
signing
leaving
him.
Barcelona.
Well, he should have left years ago. But that's neither here nor there.
Making
That's
that much
also
money, bro? Are you
there's
serious? Did you see his
that's
contract?
also of course I did. But
Dude,
700 million or
yeah,
Neymar got
something like
something
that?
better.
dude. But yo, he makes more
Jordan, you
than
gotta
me.
fix that,
He
bro.
makes he
That
makes
thing
he
is
He
makes more
makes
than
more
terrible.
than
me.
me.
He
He
makes
makes more than me.
That's true. That's true. But as we all know, we all have different opinions about different sports. But one thing we could always agree upon is how much we all love basketball. And in basketball, there's so much going on, man. Like, we have the All Star game. Some people don't like it, some people do. That's something we all know. But what we do want to talk about, what we want to begin with, is the Draymond Green comments. I don't know if you guys heard it, but he had a lot to say about the situation going on out there in Cleveland and in Detroit. With Andre Drummond, sitting out because the team wants to trade him, and Blake Griffin, basically the same thing. So, what do you guys think? Like, how do you guys think the NBA should handle this? How do you think the teams are looking? How do you think the players are looking? Do you guys agree with what Draymond said? Anybody could start off on this one. To be honest, go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay, so in regards of Andre Drummond, I see the point that he's trying to make, and it's reasonable. Why, as a player, you're expected to show up at least because if you think about, let's just step back for a moment, think about the James Harden situation. James, we all openly knew that he wanted to leave. Everybody in the league, everybody in the media knew he wanted to leave. But James still showed up. Yes, he was partying in Atlanta. Yes, he was going to the strip clubs regardless, but he still showed up. He still showed up. So I think in regards to in that terms, it's not fair how the NBA is allowing Cleveland to take this approach with Drummond. He's not hurt in that regards. They're just not giving him enough time. I think you should expect him to show up at least, be part of the game, be at least playing time. He's not hurt. It's like saying LeBron. It's like saying LeBron, for example, that he's there but he's not playing. But everybody came to see LeBron.
Right.
So it just kills the content. It kills because some people who do want to see him play, or some people because. So that's my take on this.
Yeah. See, I can agree with you slightly. However, it is Andre Drummond. Like if LeBron is sitting because the team told him to sit. I mean, of course, everybody's gonna have like, oh my god, like why can't the league come into this? But when you're talking about Drummond, like
Oh
what's
yeah.
Drummond gonna do
Okay.
for your
Oh yeah. It's
team?
not.
Like
It's not,
I
it's not the
mean,
same
he's
thing. I'm just an example. It's not the same thing, but it's
yeah,
an example.
like Drummond. I get what the team is doing. Draymond's point was really just that you know teams don't get as much hate as a player does, right? Because when with the James Harden situation, that was a perfect example that you brought up. People were slandering James Harden, saying that he's a cancer to the organization. Like he's the way he's exiting is not good. But he asked to be traded. Drummond, on the other hand, the team is like, no, we're gonna trade you, so you're not allowed to play. He was suited up to play, goes back to the locker room, and then comes back in street clothes. Like that. That Draymond's point is basically that the NBA or just everybody as a whole, they see these players do, ask a trade, do things to get out of the situation, and yet the players are slandered, but not the organization. I personally agree with Draymond, but at the same time, I get why people wouldn't. I get why people would say, well, you know what? That's the league. Like, the owners make you money. When we all know that's not the truth. The truth is that the players, they're the ones that give the teams the revenue. But, Isandro, Jordan, what do you guys think about this?
I'll let Jordan go first.
I mean, at the end of the day, I get both sides of the story. I get the NBA. I get what Draymond's saying. Players should receive the level of respect that owners, executives, that everybody should be treated with respect and all that. But at the end of the day, it's a business. So if you're gonna get traded, it makes sense for you not to play. I mean, I totally get that. I understand that. When you sign up for a team, that's what you're gonna expect. It's a business at the end of the day. It's just not, you know what, you're my boy, you're on my team. Let me treat you like my best friend. No, that's not how it is. It's a business. So I mean, you're getting millions of dollars. Andre Drummond getting millions. So he should be fine with it. He's gonna go to probably a better team. Who knows? Los Angeles Lakers. That's a whole nother topic. But I mean, Draymond, maybe I feel like Draymond made a big deal out, made a big deal out of nothing. It's not really where it was disrespected. It's gonna happen. We all knew he was gonna get traded before that game, anyways. So I mean, that's really my take. Draymond's making a big scene for nothing.
Yeah,
But I
that's a
mean, to
good
your
point.
point,
Go ahead, Isandro.
you said it was a business, right? So why can't James Harden put in his 2 weeks notice? Why is it such a big deal if he doesn't want to play there anymore because he doesn't see a future there? If it's a business, can't I go to Kohl's and say, hey guys, I really don't want to work here anymore. I'm going to put in my 2 weeks. We out, right? But nah, you can't do that if you're a player, right? But if Kohl's says, hey, you know what? We hate your guts. We don't want you here. Just leave, right? They can do that. So what's up with that? Like why is there such a discrepancy between the player's power? Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a discrepancy, right? The player isn't as big as the organization. However, there's such a huge gap. Like if a player says I want to leave, there's a big huge deal. But if a team says we don't want you anymore, it's like yeah, whatever. That shouldn't be the case, and that's what Draymond was saying before. Like there shouldn't be this big huge thing. It should be a little closer.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago with Tyreek Evans when he was on Memphis, and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna sit you out, we're gonna trade you. The trade deadline passed and he was still on their team. Literally, he sat down for like 3 games straight because they were like, yeah, no, we're trading you, like hands down, we're trading you. And then they find out no deal fell through. Then he's back on the team. Like that's an awkward situation. You just get told by the organization that you're getting traded. You're asked to sit down for a few games. Nothing ends up happening, so we're not gonna buy you out because we want value. You're stuck with our team now. So same thing now is going on here with Drummond and Griffin. I mean, I think we care more about Drummond because Drummond is more of a productive player at this stage of their careers. Griffin, he's declined a lot. He's somebody I think that should just be bought out because there's no trade partner with that massive contract that he's getting. Drummond is a little more flexible. I believe the Raptors are in trade talks with them. So if these guys do get bought out or if these guys do get traded, where would you guys like to see them? Jordan kind of alluded to it with Drummond. So I guess I'll start off with you, Jordan. Where would you like to see Drummond and Griffin?
Um, Drummond. Wait, hold on. I just want to say one quick thing, uh, before we move on
Yeah,
to
go
this
ahead. Go
topic.
ahead.
I feel like James Harden's situation and Andre Drummond's situation is a little actually very different because one, the team, unlike Andre Drummond, wanted to keep Harden. So in that scenario, in that case, James Harden was gonna play. They're not gonna tell James Harden to not play, especially if how tough they were on the trades. So what if a trade didn't go through? So James Harden sat down all that time. That wouldn't make sense for a team. Andre Drummond, what are the Cavs losing out on? A 20 plus, like what are they losing out on? They're not losing out on much. And they're gonna trade him anyways. So if as a team, if you want the player to sit down, that's fine. But as a player, James Harden's a top 3 player in the NBA, top 5. You're not gonna sit him down. So it's two very different situations. And it's not like James Harden wanted to sit out. He wanted out of the team. right? But he didn't make the choice to sit out because if I mean if you're a player, you're dumb for doing that because you're losing out on money. So I don't understand why he would do that.
Well, really, it
Um,
was kind of like a difference between desires, like the team's desire versus the player's desire, and which one is going to weigh out. You know, like if James Harden decided to sit out because he didn't want to do that, obviously he's not going to because it's James Harden. You know, like that's where the question was, like, how much more so should the team should the team be held accountable versus the player? Because the
Right.
player for this entire time, for every single situation, it's like the player is the one who's always at fault. Meanwhile, you look at it a couple of years ago, the exact same thing happened to Blake Griffin, where he signed a really big contract for the Clippers, and then they just traded him away, you know, and then that's when it was like, you know, where's the loyalty?
That's that right there. That word right there. There's no loyalty in the NBA. I mean, we know it. The only person or that we can say is really just Kobe. You know, rest in peace. But Kobe was the only one that the team showed loyalty to. And
And
even then,
even then though, he kind of wanted to trade, right?
yeah, like there was because he thought that there was no direction there. So look, with Drummond, I understand completely what Jordan is saying because once they got Allen, we all knew Drummond was out. Like there was no reason for him to stay. But again, the NBA they'll always try to make owners and teams look better than the individual players. That's it. There's no loyalty in the NBA. But as for the question that now we want to get into with Drummond and Griffin, where do you guys see them? See a good scenario for both of them. I'm gonna start off with Jordan on this one, just like I mentioned before. So
yeah.
go ahead, Jordan.
All right. So I mean, reports are this is gonna be a lot of reports, but as of right now, both of them are they might go to the Lakers. There's an interest. The Lakers have an interest in them, and it makes sense. They're two very different players, obviously, but it makes sense for the Lakers. Anthony Davis is questionable. He's injured, and you want to take this. I'm not sure. It's just the muscle around the Achilles. You want to take that very, very cautiously because once
Anything
AD
having to
goes
do with
out,
Achilles. Mhm.
AD goes out, Lakers is not going to be a cakewalk no more. So I
It's
mean, I
over
still
for
think
them. They're not
they're
going
going all
anywhere
the
without
way.
him.
They're going all the way, but that's not the point. Uh, you gotta look at what the Lakers want, what they need. If you get Blake Griffin, you get more offense, more skilled in the paint. Blake Griffin can shoot. He can shoot now, so he can create his own shot. He has a little dribble. Andre Drummond, you're getting a roll out of him. He's going to rebound the heck out of the ball.
Yeah.
So I mean, out of the two, I'll say Drummond because I feel like Lakers probably don't need that much offense, even though it would be nice. Offense is always nice. Their defense is already decent. Get you somebody who can rebound the ball since AD is going to be out for the 2-3 weeks. But I feel like they're going to extend it anyways to 4-6. But I think Andre Drummond would be a solid pickup for the Lakers.
Okay.
And then Blake Griffin, I mean, honestly, he's one of those players, and he has to go to a contender to get that ring because he's not. His athleticism is going downhill, which is why he's shooting the ball so well now. He had to make one of those things his strong suits, but I mean, both is good pickups for the Lakers regardless.
All
Both
right. So you would like to see them on the Lakers. What about you, Jeremy? Where would you like to see Drummond and Blake?
So there's two spots that I could see potentially work with, at least Drummond wise. It could easily be one. They could trade Drummond to San Antonio for LaMarcus because LaMarcus has not been putting up numbers as well. He's declining. How old is he? He's like 35 years old. 35
No.
years old. No, LaMarcus.
How old is LaMarcus? He's
Yeah.
35?
Lamar's like 35, 36. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I think you're better off. Like you said, his offense is declining. You're better off using Blake in that regards with LaMarcus. And what they have to trade off for him, him and a second rounder for LaMarcus, which is not much, which is fine. And another spot for me, I could see him working potentially as well. Drummond is with the Raptors possibly as well, working with the Raptors. In regards of Blake, there's two spots I like to see him. One, I agree with Jordan with the Lakers a lot. They could easily buy him out, use him, and he's a low risk, high reward. I see that very well. And like you guys mentioned before, it is it's a sensitive injury. So you want to take as much time as you can. You want to take 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, it's fine. At least we could give that pressure to Blake. He could play with that. It's fine. But you want to make sure AD is safe and he's good. And as well, when the games start coming deep, the playoffs start coming up, and he's there, he's gonna be a useful item for the second unit. At least AD gets enough AD rest. And the second spot that I see Blake, maybe I'm not sure, with Miami. With Miami, because if you look at the offense, at least the Pistons offense is better than Miami's as right now. They are rated, at least rated wise. The
Right.
Miami has
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
worse rated wise. Miami has a worse offense with him, and at least with Leonard Myers coming down for the end of the season, it fits well for at least Blake to put some numbers up, at least help the offense grow a bit. So those are my two spots, but I like more with Blake wise. I see him better with Lakers and Drummond um with San Antonio.
All right. I like that. San Antonio's a little shocking to me. I haven't heard of that one yet, but that's a pretty good. I would like to see that too. I wouldn't like to see LaMarcus in Cleveland, to be honest, but I'd like to see Drummond in San Antonio with Pop. But how about you, Isandro? Where would you like to see Drummond and Blake?
Well, I think the team that desperately needs him the most, I don't know how realistic their chances are of getting him, is the Brooklyn Nets. It's kind of obvious. I mean,
That's what I was gonna
they
say.
have one rim protector, and it's
Okay.
DeAndre Jordan. I can't even say it with a straight face. It's DeAndre Jordan. Um, so they need something else. They need something else. And Andre Drummond is one of the best rim protectors in the game, one of the best rebounders in the game. So it's a no-brainer that he would go. He would just fit in so well in that team. For Blake Griffin, I don't know any team that's going to want that contract at his level of productivity. But if they completely ignore the contract, he's getting 33 million or something like that around there for 1 year. He's probably going to opt in because that's a lot of money. Yeah, probably I'll agree with Jordan and say it's the Lakers, to be honest.
Yeah. I with Blake Griffin, I'd love to see him in either Boston or Lakers. Boston only because I feel like Boston just needs something. There's something off with Boston, but I feel like we say that every year, and then in the playoffs they kind of show up, but then they don't. Boston's such a weird team. They suck. That's why
It
I hate
is. I don't
Boston.
know. The thing is, because they have Tatum and Brown and Kemba came back from injury, right? So that should be enough. But Kemba's kind of been hot and cold, you know? If they
Yeah,
can get all three of those guys fit and firing, I don't know, maybe you add Blake to that and then they make a deep
yeah.
run to the playoffs.
I just
Could
feel
be.
like a new face, who brings a different offensive dynamic to the team. I mean, obviously defensively that won't work, and that's why I feel like Drummond would also be great for Boston as well. But I mean, of course, if he's bought out, the Nets have to go for him. I mean, there's no denying. We'd have to waive like Chris Chiozza or something. I mean, I love him, but no, Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson sucks. We get Drummond, bro. We'd be
Well, Tyler Johnson, he doesn't suck. He just
That
shoots
man is
threes.
trash. He
Didn't
sucks.
he
But
make
anyway,
like three threes the other game?
he
Like 2 days
sucks.
ago?
I
Like
can make three
yesterday?
threes, bro. I can make three threes. He sucks.
Just in a
I
bad
can
team.
I can make 10 threes.
He sucks, bro. He sucks. But anyway, as we can see, there's a lot of options for these guys, and what Draymond said, I agree. I'm assuming most of you guys agree as well. But at the end of the day, the NBA, it's a business. We can't really deny that, right? As to move on though, we do want to talk a little bit about Brooklyn. I know we did mention them a little bit before, but Brooklyn's firing from all cylinders. Whether they got KD or not, whether they got Kyrie or not, whether they got Harden or not. I mean, as long as one of them is on the floor, we all know they're gonna be putting on a show. Like it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah,
What do
and
you guys think about Brooklyn? Like, just thoughts, impressions. I mean, Harden has been there for about a month now. So what do you guys think?
they do well with like they don't even need all three of their players. They do two out of the three. Like we've seen Harden and KD do well, and then recently we saw Kyrie and Harden do well. It's been really good.
Yeah, and how y'all feel about the comments that Kyrie made? He told he told Harden, like you're the point guard now. Like I'll take shooting guard. Like how y'all feel about that? Like do you guys think that that's just
It's
him
been like that
talking?
since
Or?
the
It's like
beginning.
I think we all
Yeah,
knew
that's what I was gonna
I think
say.
I
Yeah,
think we all knew this. We expected this to happen.
Exactly.
It wasn't
That
like
from that very first game, Kyrie dropped 37, I think, or it was something like that, and then Harden dropped like 13 assists and like 10 rebounds.
oh
Selfish.
okay guys, if you whoever's listening to this on Spotify or whatever streaming, you're not seeing Jordan's face. So if I recommend you check it out the video on YouTube, you'll probably see why we're probably muting yourself or laughing. So
for
just
real, we are dying right now. But
sorry.
anyway,
By beauty, but yeah. That's selfish by Kyrie. I mean, what else can you say? You're the point guard now. My man's been the point guard since day one. Did he not get a triple double?
He did.
What was the last triple double? What was the last time Kyrie got 10 plus assists in a game? This man is a clown, and his ego and his selfishness is gonna kill the team.
He reminds me of you.
Yeah. Like everybody said it in the beginning. Simple as that.
Yeah. That same ego is what killed the New York Knicks rec team, and that's why we lost every game that we played together.
Especially part of the Celtics, but yeah, I guess the next
yeah, shut up. But as for the Nets in general, look, is this team NBA Finals bound? I mean, with the roster that's constructed right now, we just got Roberson, like I mentioned. We did waive Norrell Pell, but this is the team that we have now. With this team, do you guys believe that they can make it to the finals and possibly win it? What do you think, Isandro?
I think they were already going to the NBA Finals. They were already a really strong contender before the Harden trade. So the Harden trade kind of just solidified it. Now, if they're going to win it, that depends on AD's health. If AD isn't there, I mean, that's in 4. That's in 5,
Wow.
It's in 4. It's in 5. Wow.
That's in 4 and 5, bro. No AD, Lakers don't stand a chance against that team. I'm sorry.
What do you think, Jeremy? What do you think?
Okay. So regardless, I still have them going to the finals. Doesn't matter that. But with the addition of Robertson, they have a good chance of fighting it. They have a great chance now. I think my opinion, but regardless of that, if the Lakers still got AD, there's no chance of winning it. That's just it. And I'm sorry guys, I'm just Jordan.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I feel like this team, as constructed now, they're definitely playoff bound, finals bound. I mean, who in the East can stop them?
Exactly.
You have 3 of the best players in the NBA all on one team. Like,
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna contradict myself as a Golden State fan. Just remember, it's LeBron James. So.
Oh, you're talking about the West?
Yes, the West. So if regardless of the West, LeBron will still bring pressure regardless. His presence alone will still bring added the pressure, and LeBron's been in that hill so many times. So I know Jordan's happy me saying this because I don't like saying this much, but regardless, it's LeBron. So just keep in mind.
Here's why I feel like LeBron will have success even without AD. One, not because of my Wolverine haircut, because we all know it's fire, but it's because LeBron, the Nets don't phase. Like, and I want to make a comparison to the Nets with, the Warriors with KD. The Warriors weren't just an offensive unit, firepower. They were also good defensively. And we always knew the Warriors, they had that best all-around team. The Nets, they are the best offensive team in the NBA, but they're also the worst. So, and if you let LeBron's just gonna, that's an easy 60-point triple-double right there. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100. No gas, no cap. LeBron's gonna have a 50 piece. If LeBron had a 50 piece with that Warriors team, what do you think he's gonna do to the Cavs? To the freaking Nets. Molestation. That's all I gotta say.
LeBron can't take on big threes. It's been proven in history. Look at the Spurs. Look at the Warriors. What did he do to them?
Spurs.
The Spurs, the second year, they got
beat the Warriors.
The big 3 in Golden State.
Yeah, okay, but no, that one with KD and Golden State.
That's different. That's different.
That's the big 3 though. That's the big 3 though.
But you're saying KD or James Harden? KD or James Harden? Question. Because if we're talking about KD or James Harden.
What are you talking about? Like, who's better?
Yeah, because think about it. The addition of KD to our team was automatically an improvement. Let alone that team was amazing already. In addition to KD, you couldn't stop them. LeBron couldn't stop him. That's why he got swept the last time they faced them in the finals.
Right.
That Warriors team was amazing, but this Nets team obviously is nowhere near that Warriors team, but they still have a big 3, and it's on par to be the greatest offense in history. Not this league, in history.
You're right. In history, we are the greatest NBA offensive team, but we're also in history the worst defensive team. So, like,
that's true.
Like, you can't win a championship without defense. We all know it. And the thing about defense is really just communication, and that's what they lack. DeAndre, the other game he had 3 blocks, and the NBA was like going. Well, the Nets fans, organization, they were going crazy talking about, oh my god, if he does this, against the Clippers or against these other guys, like of course, we're
including
gonna
you.
win. Like he sucks. No, definitely not. I was like when my dad was like, "Oh look, your boy DeAndre," I was like, "No, I hate him. Get him out. Like he sucks. Like that man, he'll have 3 blocks easily against me, but he can't block anybody like important. Like, look, he sucks. He's trash. And
You know who could
if
block more? You know who could block more?
Jordan.
Alex Caruso.
to be
Yo,
honest,
Alex Caruso's
bro,
great. He's great.
to be honest, I feel like every player on the Lakers, like scrub wise, they're way better than DeAndre Jordan right now. I guarantee you. DeAndre sucks. That man is trash. So that's the only reason why I probably see them like not win it. If we do get a few moves here and there though, man, bro, we crazy. But even then, who knows even if the Lakers are gonna make it to the finals, bro, because we got another team out west known as the Utah Jazz.
What a segue.
Wait. I think you said
What
the
a
Phoenix. I think you
segue.
said the Phoenix Suns. I think they had Phoenix
Hold
Suns.
on.
I think you said the
In
No,
4th place? Are you serious?
no, Utah Jazz is number 1 right now.
They're number 1,
And
bro.
Utah has won 18
Oh
of the
yeah,
last 19 games.
but the
Now,
Suns are dark horse right now.
Are
The
they
Suns
legit?
dark horse.
Are they
that's
legit?
that's my question there actually. So, are the Utah Jazz a legit contender this season, or is this just regular season, lucky wins that they're getting against these COVID protocols and all this crap going on? Like, what do you guys think about Utah?
Each other want to go?
Yeah, I think Utah kind of proved it last year that they were legit with Donovan Mitchell dropping 50s and 40s, and it took Jamal Murray going off, but Jamal Murray isn't going off this season. So we know if that matchup happens again, it's over for the Nuggets. And they didn't have Bogdanovich, and they took him to 7 games, right? They went to 7 games. So Utah, we already know they were good last season, and now they're building upon that. I genuinely think it's only there's only going to be 3 teams potentially in the Western Conference Finals. The Lakers, the Clippers, and either the Clippers or the Jazz, depending. Those are the only 3 teams I see in that final.
I completely disagree. I believe Utah needs another piece if they're really contenders, and even then, no, bro. This is a regular season team. Utah, for one thing, I just don't like Utah. I think D. Mitch, he's dirty, but look, the best player on that team so far, and I know Donovan Mitchell, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for what I'm about to say, but the best player on that team so far has been Mike Conley. Like Mike Conley, he's dirty. He's actually like playing like averaging 20 here and there. D. Mitch, his shooting efficiency is not good. And Rudy Gobert is trash. He's making 200
Have you
something
seen his
million to
3-point
do.
percentage, bro?
Yeah, it's gone up in the past few games, but to start off the season, he wasn't the reason why they were winning. Like that wasn't him. It was the team overall. So you can't tell me you can't compare People are saying D Mitch is the next D Wade. No, he's not. If he's the next D Wade, then he's got to carry like for real in the playoffs. Because no, and last season in the playoffs he did do dirty. They still lost though. Now his team is getting better, but they're not gonna do anything in the playoffs at all. They have nothing to go for. If they go up against the Lakers, they're losing. If they go up against the Clippers, they're losing. Bro, man, I know I talk so much trash about the Warriors, man. If the Warriors make it to the playoffs and they go up against Utah, Warriors are destroying them. I'm sorry, but Utah, they suck. Rudy Gobert is trash. Derek Favors,
Yo,
all he's
Jordan,
gonna do
stay
is just
muted
come off the
because you
bench.
capping too, bro. I don't know why you clapping.
Like,
You're
bro,
capping.
I had Utah even outside of my playoffs. I was definitely wrong with that, but I would
Me too,
much
but I'm
rather
admitting
see
that I was
all these
wrong.
other
And
guys.
Utah
Yeah,
are proving everybody wrong.
Jason, I'll send for you.
they're doing a great they're doing a great job in this regular season. They're playing team basketball, and I love the way that they're playing. It's beautiful to watch. But once the playoffs come, things are gonna change completely.
I
Teams are
don't
gonna
think so
figure them
because
out.
we saw what they did last year in the bubble, bro. How is that any different? It's not like a Milwaukee
You
that
said
we
it.
see that
You
them
said
they
it.
go
It's
off
the
in the regular
bubble.
season, they
It's the
can't perform in
bubble.
the playoffs.
It's the
They
bubble.
performed in the playoffs.
Bro, hold
The
up.
bubble.
Last season in the bubble, Miami made it to the finals. So like,
Okay, and it's gonna be another bubble. So are we? I mean, what's your point?
The
who
thing
said
you
there's gonna be another bubble? Though?
you can't there is gonna be a problem.
Are they not gonna do another bubble?
I think
They
they are gonna
should.
be a. They
They-
should.
they
No,
All
I know
with
they
all the
are.
COVID
should.
cases, they're gonna do another bubble,
Right?
bro.
No,
Yeah,
of
they
course
are.
they
It's
do
the
Yeah,
the
they
same
are.
thing.
100%. Yeah.
No,
I'm
can't
but
sorry.
say anything else,
no,
bro.
but the difference with that is that remember there was a pause in the season. They stopped. This difference now is that they're gonna keep playing. They're gonna keep playing. So I don't know if it's on. You're done talking. All right, if I can take my take, I don't want to.
Go ahead.
Your take, bro. Your take. Go
All right,
ahead.
okay, all right, you good.
You got
All
my
right,
permission.
all right, cállate. Okay, let's go. Anyways, Utah Jazz is a regular season team. Utah Jazz is a regular season team. Now, I'm not hating him. I'm not. It's just been proven in the past seasons how they played, how they react in the playoffs. Now, in difference of last season, they were in the bubble. Anybody could do better in the bubble. Crap. Phoenix Suns were 8-0 and didn't make it to the playoffs. Okay?
But they're in the fourth. They're in the fourth seed this season.
Okay. That's my team. That's my sleeper team. I replace that team for Utah Jazz of your take. I see
top three to make Western Conference Finals. Are you serious?
That's
bro?
Oh yeah. Have you seen them play?
I have, yeah. didn't Utah like wash them the last game that they played?
No matter,
bro, but look, it's regular season, man. And look,
it's Chris Paul,
bro.
And it's Chris Paul. It's Chris Paul.
The same Chris Paul who lost to the Rockets.
The one who took him to 7 games. Yes.
That's
Took him to
right.
7 games,
You're
but lost to
absolutely correct, Jeremy.
garbage
You're
West
absolutely
team.
right.
That was an OKC team that wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs.
That's
7 games.
1000%, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You're contradicting yourself hard, bro.
All right. You're right. I'm wrong on that one. But to say that the Suns are better than the Jazz in the playoffs.
No, we're not. Okay.
That's literally what
there.
they said.
Okay,
He
look.
said he'd have him in the Western Conference Finals.
But no, he's talking about playoff experience. You got Chris Paul leading that team. That he's done stuff in the playoffs. What have the Jazz done in the playoffs? The one who's gone the furthest. This is crazy. The one who's gone the furthest is, I believe, Bogdanovich when he was in like Brooklyn, or not even.
Yeah. Mike Conley made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Conley,
they got
right.
swept.
Mike Conley.
Yeah, swept.
They got swept.
Right. Shout out Mike. I love Mike. And again, they have a good overall team. Jordan Clarkson is balling off the 6th man of the year, hands down.
You're talking good overall teams, and you're not even mentioned like the Jazz. Have you seen? They have the
Jazz
6
are
people
good,
averaging
but
11 plus.
I just said the Jazz. I'm talking about
Jazz,
them right now.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Suns. I'm like, wait,
No,
what?
man, screw the Suns.
You said Jordan Clarkson. Okay.
But I'm saying that like the Jazz, they got Clarkson come off they have a good overall solid team. But once the playoffs start, things are gonna change, man. Like it's just no. Like they can't unless they do something in this playoff series, in this playoff season, then they can be legit contenders.
That's a good opinion. I think they're gonna prove you wrong, but we can only really wait to see because that small sample size that we got in the bubble, we got to see if it's gonna happen again. Because
they remind me of the Hawks. Point. They remind me of the Hawks when a couple years ago. Remember that Hawks team that was
the 60-win team.
Yeah, and look how they performed at the end.
I mean, LeBron was also all over them.
You guys made a good point because what we're seeing a lot of teams that really did well. They kind of we're seeing now that they outperformed themselves in the bubble.
Denver.
Right? So we got to see if what we saw from the Jazz in the playoffs and the bubble last season is going to happen again. We got to wait to see.
What do you think, Jordan? What do you think about Utah?
I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they do.
All right. First of all, I just want to let y'all talk from this monstrosity that I'm hearing. The Utah Jazz are the worst player. Ugh. You think of the Clippers? You say they're bad? The Utah Jazz are worse. Look, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. In the playoffs, they're not going to be past the second round. You know why? Because in the playoffs, they don't know how to play as a team. Right now, they're playing as a team. They're doing great. Many regular season teams. Oh, one team, New York Knicks. Wow, they're playing great. Why? Because they're playing as a team. Because it's not the playoffs. The Bucks, another great team. Regular season, playoffs, trash. Okay.
That's because they don't have a superstar who can shoot. People sag off of Giannis because they know that the Bucks aren't going to win any late games.
Chris Middleton, no. Okay, Utah Jazz.
He's your go-to option. And oh my, he said.
No, hold on. No, wait. Middleton.
I'm not going to let Sandro finish.
Is
all right, let me finish, and then y'all can talk this nonsense. All right. So, when have you ever seen a team make it to the Western Conference Finals when it's a big man? I'm just going to bring up how much he makes, $200 million, who has no offensive game. Only defensive, and I just want to point this out because I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. Russell Westbrook bodied that man in the paint. He bodied 6'3" point guard, bodied that man in the paint. I just want to put that in perspective. Then you have Donovan Mitchell, who's a great superstar, inconsistent, bad field goal percentage in the playoffs. You know why? Because he's taking 40, 30 shots. Okay. Yeah, 57 is going to be good. But when you're the only player scoring 57 and the rest of the team isn't doing anything, that's not going to win you games. Teamwork is going to win you games unless you're LeBron James. All right. So my point is, in the playoffs, the Utah Jazz, they do not play as a team. You're not going to see the same regular season team in the playoffs. Right now, shoot, they'll probably make fourth seed. They've made fourth seed before, if I'm correct. Fourth, fifth seed. One of those. I'm pretty sure fifth seed, maybe fifth seed.
Well,
But we've seen them doing great in the regular season. But when has Donovan Mitchell made it to the second round?
The year that he beat Oklahoma City.
You make a good point. But regular season, they're probably going to end up top 3 seed. But yeah, playoffs, those are legitimate concerns.
Okay,
but,
let's look at, to prove my point. Let's look at
wait. Hold on, wait. Before you do, the Jazz made it to the second round his rookie season, though. Remember that? Like they beat your Thunder.
Oh,
they did.
No,
They
when
did.
does he make? No,
They
I said
destroyed
when does he
your
make it
Thunder.
past the second round? That's when past the second round. Did it say
Yeah.
pass it? When has he made it past the second round? Because look, perspective. He got destroyed by a bubble Jamal Murray. I mean, he played phenomenal. Jamal Murray, okay. And what happened in that series? He was the only one dominating. That's literally what happened. Okay. OKC. All right, he destroyed my team. I'm still tight. He made it to the second round. What did he do? Nothing. Absolutely nada. And what happened in that? First of all, in that series, if OKC was trash, no teamwork. They were scoring, but they were still trash. No game plan. But that's not the point. But the point is, if Donovan Mitchell is going to be scoring 50 plus in that game, 40 plus, they're not winning the series. They need to play team ball. What they're doing now, they're not going to do it.
It won't work in the playoffs, man. Like Mike Conley is great, and I think he's one of the best veteran point guards that any team would love to have. Mike Conley, but he's not going to win you no playoff series, bro. Like he can't. You know, even in Memphis, he did maybe once or twice, but he's not going to be able to do that here in Utah. And look,
he was in that series in the bubble, right? He was there.
Yeah, but okay, now the only contradiction that I do have with that and with Isandro's point was that, you know, now they have Bogdanovich, a healthy Bogdanovich. Now they have a Mike Conley who knows the system, who knows how to play the team. Jordan Clarkson is doing amazing things off the bench. Derek favors him, you know, that 1-2 punch. It's beautiful to watch to see these guys play. Royce O'Neal, a great 3-and-D wing. But once the playoffs start, they are going to have these guys in, but Jordan alluded to it. Donovan Mitchell is basically going to try to take over himself because he's the only one that can actually score by himself. The only one, besides Conley, to an extent, who's, you know, who could do righty and lefty. But in the playoffs, it tightens up. Right now, we see all these beautiful passes that, you know, it's Spurs like basketball. But the difference with the Spurs is that Spurs had a set system and they played amazing because of Popovich and a great, you know, Tim Duncan who can hit any, you know, fadeaway, Tony Parker who could run and jet, Ginobili who can shoot and all this stuff. They had a good overall foundation, one that had been placed for years. Whereas with the Jazz, it's a good foundation, but in the playoffs, it hasn't worked yet. So this upcoming season, yeah, they might even make first seed because we all know the Lakers won't know AD is out, and it's not like the Lakers are going to try to make the first seed. If the Jazz make the first seed, I can see the same that happened with the We Believe Warriors, you know, the team that beat the first seeded Mavericks. I can see that happen. Utah, whoever they play as the 8th seed, they might get out of the first round. And it's not because I think Donovan Mitchell is trash, because he's not trash, but Shaq said it perfectly. He's not somebody that wants that pressure, I guess. It's just the way it is. So until he proves that in the playoffs, then, you know.
But you really don't see them making it out of the second round, though?
No way.
But look at the matchups. Who are they going to face in the second round?
Well, we don't know matchups yet, but
I'm just saying, you face the 8th seed, and then you probably face a 4th or a 5th seed, right?
Yeah. It'll probably be the
Clippers.
Clippers.
Or 5th seed is going to beat the Jazz.
You don't think the Clippers would destroy them?
Oh, is that really how it works? Would they face the Clippers in the semis?
Probably. I mean, I'm just saying. Look, even if they go up against Phoenix, I think Phoenix has it over Utah hands down.
Really? That's what Jeremy said, right?
Yeah, you put the Warriors there as well. I mean, I'd say them, you know, over them too.
No, that's cap though. That's cap though. I mean, Warriors got Warriors are the Jazz, but worse because they have Steph Curry, who's amazing, but take Steph Curry off that team, they're a
Just
lottery
know
team.
we're the 8th seed right
Obviously.
now. If the playoffs were start right now, Golden State would win. Because of the
Well,
because of
not the whole
because
finals, but
no,
Nah,
not
I
the
mean,
final.
they're not
No,
winning
not
against
the
the
final.
Jazz. I know you're a Warriors fan, but let's be realistic.
I
buddy.
mean, if it's playoffs, we're talking about playoffs wise.
I mean, playoffs they
Uh-huh.
got Curry, and that's it.
but
Draymond.
okay. Either way, well, okay, Draymond.
Draymond
But-
averaging 1 point and 2 turnovers.
And 20 assists.
It's beautiful to watch, bro. It's beautiful to watch. But look, as for the Jazz, I think most of us are in agreement. They're pretenders and not contenders. And I won't buy stock in them at all until they prove something to me. And
I'm saying
even if
it.
they do.
You guys, I'm gonna say it right now. They're gonna make it to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers. I think.
Over the clip, that's insane. Over the Clippers?
I think so.
I hope you're right.
I think if
I
they
hope you're
face
right.
I think if they face the Clippers, it's gonna be a good matchup. I think could go to 6 or 7 games. But I think it's really only between those 3 teams in the Western Conference Finals, in my opinion.
That's
No Suns, no Warriors.
well, no, Warriors won't make it to
No,
the finals, to the
they
conference
wont.
finals.
They
No,
won't.
Warriors suck.
I admit it.
I'm
I admit it.
honestly
I admit it.
capping.
I admit
I
it.
even know that the Warriors might not even make the playoffs because I don't even want them to make the playoffs. Screw the Warriors.
No, they will make it to
but-
playoffs. If they make it playoffs, Curry should deserve the MVP. Just saying.
Taking the Knicks and OKC over the Jazz.
Yo, speaking of the Knicks, they traded for Derrick Rose, reuniting Tom Thibodeau. Bro, the Knicks are fun to watch, bro. And as much as I hate the Knicks being a Nets fan, I like seeing my boy Emmanuel Quickly. Like Quickly is a fun player to watch. Derrick Rose looks so much fun. He looks like he's having fun. Thibodeau is smiling. Who knew that was like a thing?
When does he ever smile?
When did he smile? When did he?
But he did, according to Derrick Rose, and of course I'm gonna listen to Derrick Rose because he's awesome. You know, there was a really good point. I kind of want to get into this about in another podcast because we are running out of time here. But just a quick thought: Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook, right? Like this is something that people hate on Westbrook so much, and people love Derrick Rose so much. But if you really think about it, sure, Derrick Rose had a far worse injury with his Achilles tear, but Westbrook has had a really bad injuries for a point guard for the way that he plays, and he's still a scoring champ, a multi all-star team player. At the end of the day, I feel like one day we should have this conversation, and maybe we could leave this as a cliffhanger. But who's
Better.
better? Like, is it Westbrook?
I'm not gonna
Rose?
say who real quick. I'm just gonna for people listening in the on Spotify. I have 2 bars right here. One is Westbrook and one is D Rose. One is not even close to the other. It's not even close. And the fact that you brought that up is disrespectful. And
One
y'all
bar
know
is
who I'm talking
literally out of the screen right now. Like one bar, it's like this.
I
You
know
can't
who
even
I'm
see it as a bar.
picking. I know who I'm picking. Hands down, I know who I'm picking. I don't know who
I
you
am. I
feel
look.
like-
I think.
I mean,
we
it's not
both-
even
I
a
think,
question.
Jane, I think we know. I think we're both reading the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm
mean,
agreeing the same.
One
yeah.
made
Jaden?
triple doubles boring. The other one, yeah, nothing.
look. So you see, this is what I don't know, man. I feel like this would be a great topic because it's like,
I
what
mean,
if
it's not even a debate though, to be honest.
No.
it should be?
It should
It's
be.
not,
It
though.
should
I
be.
mean,
It
look
should
at
be. It
Jordan's
should.
face. Jordan's like,
It should be a debate. It should be a
If you
debate.
think about it, and I'm saying it because I feel like Westbrook gets so much hate for no reason. Like the amount of injuries that man has suffered, like Derrick Rose has suffered a lot, but Russell Westbrook does not deserve a lot of the hate that he gets.
And plus, D Rose had like what, a 3-year prime? How long has Russell been in his prime?
Oh,
these
but yeah,
years.
all these years, yeah.
That's why I'm saying. Look,
Exactly. D Rose.
I'm
yeah.
on your. I'm just saying, the amount. I'm not okay. Maybe the word that I used as in debate that was the wrong word. I guess I just want to have a conversation on
Yeah, there you go.
why does Russell Westbrook get all this hate? When maybe this season he probably deserves it the most than he ever did, but that's a topic for another day because Washington sucks. I'm sorry. I know Isandro doesn't like it when I say that, but they suck. And
Pretty sure that was Jordan's
Washington-
favorite team.
Jordan is done, bro.
First of all, I like Russell Westbrook. I don't like the Wizards at all.
Do you like him? Or do you love
No
him?
love for
Do you love
Beal.
him?
horrible culture, horrible team.
34 points a game.
I like
Yeah,
Russell
it's a-
Westbrook.
Free Bradley
Terrible
Beal.
organization.
Free Bradley
I know
Beal.
they're horrible. Bradley Beal can't make his teammates better, but we're not talking about them.
Yeah, that's a whole topic for another day. But as of now, I believe that we are done here. We thank you all for joining us here, Jeremy, Sandro, Jordan. It was a
Arigato.
pleasure talking to you guys. As for the Dunces fan base, we know it's not many as of now, but soon we will be growing, and we do believe in that. And we appreciate you guys for joining, either on Spotify or whatever platform you listen to us, or watching us on YouTube. Please, we appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and hit that like button. And please shout us out, send us over to all your friends. We thank you and stay safe, guys.
We love you. We love you.